wait.
Just talk to me.
Okay, to talk
Right?
to you.
All right.
My name is Rob Crow, and I'm in a band called Pinback with my partner Zach.
I'm Zach Smith, and I'm in a band called
Beefeater.
Beefeater.
They sent us into their machine.
When you guys record, do you usually do you ever think about like how are we gonna pull this off live and have that affect your recording process?
Well, we think about how we're going to pull it off live, and then we go, it's never going to happen. But
we'll do it
usually,
anyhow.
Yeah, we'll do it anyhow, and those songs usually end up better.
Was the approach on this album done in the same fashion as all the other ones, or did you do anything new or different on it?
We made an effort to make it sound as much like we do it live as possible, so we wouldn't have to. Yeah, just to try it. So we used real drummers most of the time instead of just doing it ourselves or whatever. And today, for example, doing an in-store, we tried to do it the reverse, and we're playing. I reinvented all the songs. The majority of the songs we're playing with backing tracks instead of just playing like what the record would sound like and then have us play over it.
Yeah.
I redid everything in ways that would not normally have been done using a variety of finished toys and things. Yeah.
Like, we've always recorded ourselves until actually just recently this guy over here. Pretty much, I mean, we record ourselves, but Chris over here kind of helped out in the beginning on this last album with drums and kind of pointed us in the right direction, or me at least, for getting a drum sound that I ended up just kind of keeping with through the entire album, you know. So, but otherwise, I think we pretty much have always done everything ourselves, you know, with little bits here and there that a friend will help out with. I've always kind of hoped that sometime down the line we would be able to just go to a studio and not worry about if money was no question or time, and just did it how we always wrote music, but just had somebody else do that process. I think it would be really fun.
Not for that person.
Not for that person, but that's not my problem, you know? My problem's just, try this idea. Then he'll record it for about 3 hours and the computer will break, and then we won't like that idea anyhow.
Well,
It won't be my problem.
if it's not us doing it, we could use tape.
Yeah, exactly, which we don't do, so.
Do you make like an effort to make Pinback more of like an accessible poppy kind of band?
It's just pretty much what happens when the two of us get together.
So it's
It
not
happens to be that way.
Yeah,
It's the happy medium that we can do together. We could never. We probably couldn't do any other. I mean, when we started writing music, we had no idea or genre. I mean, hopefully, every time two people get together, they don't worry about genre and they just see what kind of stuff happens.
Right.
And this is the kind of stuff that happens when we hang out.
How do you guys feel about like people like downloading like your new album before it's out and stuff like that? And like, because there's a lot of stuff that's coming up as far as like
It's undecided. We'll find out how it affects sales in the long run.
Sure.
yeah. I mean, I think it's changing. Obviously, it's changing. Like, I think it's coming to a point, and I actually talked with Corey at our label and stuff about this, and the idea of, you know, the next album or future albums, just handing in an album and then almost turning around and putting it out as quickly as you can manufacture it, instead of the whole 4 or 5 month wait for press and all that. Because I really feel like if people are interested in it, they're gonna, you know, read about it on the internet. It seems like most people that know about Pinback know about the internet, and they don't need to buy some magazine that we have to do interviews and wait for 5 months for it to come out. And the other thing that I think is, like, I'm totally fine with people downloading the music, but it's the labels like Touch and Go that kind of suffer, because all those guys are working, and if you don't buy their, you know, we can tour and make money and sort of, you know, support ourselves somewhat, but if they can't sell CDs, then labels like that are just going to go down the drain. So
We try to make a point of making, nowadays at least, making the artwork seem as if you're buying a piece of art altogether, make it in an album of something interesting, so you'd want to own it.
So one of the new songs on the song Walters, is it about Larry Walters, the guy who wrote it? We could just talk about it real quick, just the...
Essentially, well, the beginning of what it's about is what it's really about. Just uses Walters as Larry as a backstory. Like he's this guy that got 32 weather. His life's ambition was to get 32 weather balloons, tie them to his lawn chair, and shoot up and fly around. And he did it. And he went 3 miles in the air. Planes saw him and everything. And then he shot out. He brought up a CB radio, a 6-pack and a BB gun, and he just started shooting down the balloons so he could slowly make his way down. And then he did it, and then he did like a year's worth of lecture tours talking about his experience. But the part that to me is interesting is that right after that he went hiking or something and shot himself in the heart and died. And what it's really about is what happens after you've accomplished what you've always wanted to accomplish. I mean, at the end of a movie, it just says, and I lived happily ever after. But then what happens? I mean, is there just a big gaping hole where your ambition was? Do you have new ambitions? I don't know. It's something to promote discussion to myself.